Let's get to our very favorite part of the show, Disgrace of the Week. As always, Ms. Calhoun, please start us off.
I am afraid we're going to be talking about the Tay Anderson mess for months and months and months. We learned yesterday from the DPS board that had signed a letter, everyone but Tay Anderson, that the investigation will be done maybe by the end of the summer. What is taking so long? It would seem, I know it doesn't sound like any victims have come forward to the Denver police, but still, at this point, they could maybe move a little faster because that DPS board now is completely hamstrung.
David.
Adam Donovan, deputy sports editor of the Boulder Daily Camera and other regional papers, not only for a journalistic disgrace of the last month, but already a finalist for Disgraceful Journalist of the Year in Colorado, wrote the story about a baseball coach at Boulder High. And during practice, one of the players had this, music device that was playing this harsh music with all these ethnic and racial slurs in it. He goes over, makes them turn it off, and says, "I don't want to hear language like so-and-so and so-and-so." And so one of the parents of one of the players complains to Boulder High School, and he said these bad words, even though it was in the context of stop playing this music with all these bad words. So Donovan writes this story about baseball coach under investigation for using ethnic slurs in front of players without any of the context. He claims he says he's been a reporter for 18 years. So that kind of basic incompetence isn't incompetence, it's active malice.
Natasha.
I'm going to do a preemptive Disgrace of the Week. We're already hearing about our first sort of wildfire of the season. There's an extreme fire danger that's been released as well. So despite all the rain we've gotten, despite how beautiful our gardens and grass looked, at least until we got this 90-degree weather, let's still remember that the western United States is very, very dry this year. Please, please, please be careful when you're in the high country.
And I don't think it's going to be hard for people to remember that wildfires anywhere in the West can impact us here. I don't know how much smoke we had last year that were California, Wyoming, Utah, wherever. Marianne.
I'm going to the ledge because that's where I've spent the last 5 months of my life. My disgrace is the true champion of legislative disgraces, and that's Ron Hanks. He stands above everyone else. He started it off before he was even sworn in as an elected official by getting kicked out of the House for failing to follow the rules of the chamber. Then he went to Washington, D.C., came back, missed most of the first 3 days of the session, allegedly due to laryngitis, but you might think that he might have picked something up in Washington, which is one of the rumors floating around here. And then mounting his own insurrection against his minority leader. If this was the military in which he had served, this guy would be in the brig. I've heard from Republicans in his district throughout the entire session. They are not happy.
Time to say something nice about somebody. Patty?
Hal O'Leary, who passed away, so instrumental in starting the program for the disabled skiers in Winter Park. A wonderful man.
David?
The Colorado General Assembly session, which flagrantly violated the Constitution by staying in session an extra month, is over, and the building is emptier, and this table is fuller than it's been for a long time.
Hear, hear. Natasha.
The ongoing news about the U.S. supplying more and more vaccinations around the world. This is such an important example of America's potential and our role in the international atmosphere.
Great to see. Marianne.
I'm going to the legislature. This will be for the last time here, but hats off to lawmakers who, during that 100 and however many days session that we had in between January and May, found ways to take down the temperature a little bit. And this was a year when you really, really needed it. And I want to single out in particular Senator Jim Smallwood of Parker and Representative Matt Gray of Broomfield, who both found ways to make everyone laugh and help us remember that they're people first and lawmakers second.
And I want to say something nice about a wonderful friend of PBS 12 that we lost this week. Joshua Hassel was a prolific and award-winning arts documentary filmmaker, and he has worked with PBS 12 for decades. I got a chance to meet him the first time in the late 90s. He died after a long illness just this last week, and he not only made such a difference with his films and really taking viewers and learning new things about art from around the world. He had a whole whole ideas from Sweden to Japan to Italy, and then all around Colorado. You can see many of his documentaries at pbs12.org as we celebrate his long legacy. But I think what really struck me is that you saw his face on PBS 12 all the time. He was here as a volunteer for our pledge drives, for our auctions, for special events, and you saw him throughout the arts community in Colorado. When you read his very well-written obituary from Michael Paglia, you saw how many different parts of Colorado he was able to touch. So please know that we are thinking of his family and friends and join you in celebrating his life and impact and real legacy that he left here in Colorado.